that the volume is a little lower on this end. I think you can hear me just fine. This is my first live stream with the Quest Pro using Figmin XR, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, everyone? Let me just make sure things are running okay. Yep, Bingo is streaming. That's great. So I ran a little poll the other day. Let me make this full screen for you all too. Hopefully that translates just fine. I ran a little poll the other day around Figmin XR in terms of what would people like to see me make for the holidays, because that was my one thing of like, what would be fun? So the three things I came up with were robots in disguise, so really I'm just saying Transformers. And then also, let's do a new object today. I think that's the way to go for this. Robots in disguise. What was the other thing? I'm forgetting my own poll, which is hilarious. Dinosaurs and kaiju, and plushies. I eventually want to get to all three of those things, by the way, and I've done my fair share of robots already. But today, by I wouldn't say a landslide, but by a good margin, dinosaurs won. Dinosaurs and kaiju. So that is what we're going to concentrate on today. And I know what's really weird about this is that you really could see my whole desktop situation here. So looking around, is there anything to be embarrassed by? But no, not really. We got our Totoro here. We have our little Mandalorian here. It's all good. And I'm going to take a little coffee break from time to time. So cheers. A little UCSC mascot from back in the day. Banana slug, if you can believe it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set up the mirror here. And I was thinking to myself, like, what would be a fun kind of monster to make? I haven't seen Pandora yet. But I really quite like how, I think they're called Banshees. I really like how the Banshees look. And so I might start with something along those lines. So what we'll do is just set up sort of the skeletal structure of that first. By the way, there is no one way to make a creature, so take what I do with a grain of salt. But why don't we just use a regular old? Let's use a marker. And just start laying down strokes. See how it turns out. You know, the really dangerous thing about having mixed reality like this is that I can see, the other thing is I can see everything. So in my view right now is this cookie. So we're going to see how long it is before I make it to Cookie Monster Land there. There's isn't there a marshmallow like psychological test for children to kind of see how long it takes before they kind of lose their marbles, because they're told to not eat something, and then of course once the adult's out the room, all bets are off, you know. They have really long noses, if I remember correctly. It was really fun, like, looking at other kaiju, too, like, looking at, you know, the traditional Godzilla, Gamera, stuff like that, and I was like, what do I want to do? What would I make that's slightly different, very much my own style? So far this feels a bit like what I would do. See, I should have set myself up a little further back, because now kind of made it so I might have to go into the desk a little bit. but I can grab the scene and move things around. It's funny, I've never really worked this way until laying down a skeletal structure first of some kind. But this is really helpful. Maybe it has ears back here. I hope everyone is enjoying their holidays. Get some of your respite, some sort of respite back into your life. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, and I think we need to go easy on ourselves, is what I'm trying to say here. I also promised one of my friends, that's funny, she said she wanted to see teeth. So there's going to be teeth at some point here. Who's talking to me? Who's talking to me? Look at that mess of wires down there. Now I am getting a little bit self-conscious about my space, and I never do. It's kind of funny. But I will say that so far for the Quest Pro, which is on loan from the lovely folks at Figmin, if I hadn't mentioned already, this is for a Figmin residency, a Figmin art residency, of which I am the first candidate, and I'm very grateful to be as such. And I've always dreamed of being able to participate in arts residency, so I can cross that off the bucket list for now. Let's start here. I think body-wise, I just want to work on the bust a little bit before I really think about. Well, no. Let me grab a seam. Let's pull this out a little bit, and then we can still work on it. So let's say it's more. Maybe it's more on its haunches. Maybe that's what's happening. So part of the fun is just to play with shape. Play with shape. Always play with the shapes. And as you can tell, I haven't done very much with the undo button, so I really want to treat it like pen to paper, you know? But this is like spatial paper. Look, we got a VR cat over there who's watching. Oh, good. So that is ground level right there. So let's break that down. And then we have those are the haunches. So I might even set these down a little bit lower at some point when I get there. But at least we have sort of the overall base, right? Let's say it's really giant. At some point when I'm done with this, I would love to, I was going to say throw it out into the ocean, but it's true. I live near the Pacific Ocean, and so it'd be great to somehow, if it's not too sunny, give it a resting spot. So that's good. I want some musculature here. So I have to remember that. Rib cage. Maybe make some really cool scale. So we really go with the kaiju. Some of the hallmarks of a kaiju monster. By the way, let me go check in on chat. I don't even know if anybody's watching. I won't be offended if you aren't. Okay. Cool. Oh, I hope it's not been a black screen this whole time and you're just hearing a bunch of stuff. Let me double check on my mobile device that that's not true. That would be very, very upsetting to me. Bear with me. Oh, so we're good. We're good. What was that sound? What was that sound? I heard a sound, and I don't know if I liked the sound. No, we're fine. I think we're fine. By the way, because you can see it with... No, you can't. It's only capturing one window, isn't it? Let me make sure again. I'm really kind of semi-paranoid whenever I go full screen with something. Hello? Oh, better yet, what happened to my feed? Okay, there we go. That's what that noise was about. Phew. Okay, cool. Alright, we're good. Alright, back to it. So we have ourselves something to start with. You know, one thing I do wish that we had in Tilt Brush was real deal layers, you know. That would be my one wish for Open Brush, Tilt Brush, whatever form it takes. But having said that, what I am going to do is I'm going to lock this down, take all of this, right? I'm going to group it, and let's see. Well, I don't want to save it. I actually do want to lock it though. Can I do such a thing? Maybe not at this point in time. Oh, what I do want to do, well, you know what, I'm not going to touch it yet. I'm not going to touch any saving. Let's just make sure that we have grouped everything, which has been done. And we're going to start playing with the overall beast. What color should we play with here? It's very easy to go with that reptilian gray, greenish gray color, but I want to get a little bit more fun with purples. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try a purple. Let's go with, there's a specific brush I had in mind. I wonder if the Toon brush would be fun for this. My go-tos are very much the Hull brush, but I do want to try something different today. How about the muscle? How does the muscle brush feel here? Ooh, I think I like the muscle brush. Ooh, I think I do. We're going to lock down the mirror. And that would be smart to do. So that's locked down. That way. We're going to see what we can accomplish in, say, a little less than an hour. I will say, one of the really wonderful things about doing this in pass-through is that my eyes and my head don't get the normal headaches I would if I were working exclusively within VR. That's a huge, I want to say a game changer, but it definitely makes a huge difference in terms of my capacity to create for longer periods of time. So what you're seeing me do here is I'm just following the base skeletal structure that I made earlier. And I'll do it up to a point because I want to vary up the textures a little bit. So that when you look at the kaiju overall, you kind of get a sense of the parts of it are very discrete, both functionally and just design-wise. So for example, the scales would be different, right? that's obvious, but by the way, this no longer looks like the the banshee from Avatar, but you know, it's the thought that counts. Oops. How are we doing on time, by the way? What time is it actually? I just want to make sure we're good. Okay, cool. So maybe this is just the mane, like almost like a lion's mane that I'm going for here. And then we'll build the spikes out of it. We'll do all the other fun stuff. This could actually make really good teeth, by the way. So I'm going to turn this more into a yellowish white when I get to that point. But I think I'm going to flare this out more so it's a little bit more, got a little bit more expression when you see it from the front. Because remember, this is going to be giant, and so in terms of where it will end up. So I want to make sure it really breathes. So you always hear me talk about shake language because I think that's really, really important, is to constantly be looking at your, whatever you want to call it, your virtual sculpt, your virtual painting from all different sides. Actually, it's great to see it against the black here. So it frames it well. And you know, when I'm all done, I can also pose it and do all sorts of fun things. But right now, we're just working on making sure that it feels good. Sometimes that's kind of hard to quantify what feels good, but you kind of know it when you see it. I've almost never used guts. I just love that it's called guts. More of an orange, just like, yeah, that's not the right one. That's not right. Maybe this is where we start using tune brushes. But I do love that muscle brush. Oh, how are the spikes looking these days? I use the spikes. Almost like facets of muscle. That actually can be pretty cool. Let's try it out. Not bad at all. You can see I'm varying up the size of the brush, so I'm getting also varying levels of sinew. And so for instance, that might want, oops, a little too spiky. Wah, wah. We'll do that for this too while I still have it up. Again, we're just following the overall skeletal structure, as I've defined it at least. Make sure it really bowls out here. Love it. Nice and chunky haunches. There we go. Come on the inside here. Oh, and I should do a little plug, is that tomorrow there's a very good likelihood that Ewan Rose and I currently art director for Figmin XR. We'll do a collaborative stream for the holidays as well. And the thing is, I won't be able to join Ewan within the stream itself, but we will be able to join via call. So you may actually see this kaiju within that stream. If all works, if everything works out, which it will. Shouldn't even question that. So there we go. We got the beginnings of something, eh? Okay. Okay, I'm really snapping hard here. I wonder whether or not I can. So that's something I haven't learned yet how to do. Is like to modify the snapping. Let's see how you look in the room. Oh, you're a big boy. Okay. All right, I'm touching the cookie. Don't judge me. I'm dipping the cookie. I'm touching the cookie. I'm ingesting the cookie. Well, that's a statement right there. Let me see if I can bring it down a little bit more. Oh, actually, the other way. Yep, like that. Perfect. Also within, and I'm probably going to recolor most of this, but for now, I'm just going to have a little bit of fun. Actually, that blue could work, but more muted and greenish. And I want to make it feel like the innards are alive. Yes, I said the word innards. Maybe you can even see it slightly underneath the mane. So there's just like subtle movement underneath. Same with the. So you would get this with a plastic toy, right? So one of the things that when I was talking to Figmin, I'm talking to Ewan about all this stuff, is that we have really cool shared ethos around conservation and being sensitive to environmental issues. And so being able to make these things. Now, it's not lost on me that I'm working on, equipment that uses electricity and has a lot of plastics and metals and everything inside of it. But it's still a conduit to, creating things that I feel are at least a little less wasteful in regards to. I don't want that for the eyes. Like, I'm not investing in single-use plastics in this, if that makes any sense. Okay, let me go back to deciding on another brush here. Let me see if anybody's. Nope, we're good there. We're good. Trying to think how I want to do the face. And if that is the We got muscle. We got spikes. We got. Oh, these are. Oh, I should have picked the audio reactive one. What am I doing with my life? You know what? We can pull back and do all that. Go. Because that means if there's music attached to this, like when Ewan includes this, theoretically, music comes on, these will start reacting to any music that is being streamed, which I am all about. So let's make sure it's in some prominent places. That's pretty prominent. You love that noise. Wow. Wow. Okay. Now I want to see what a tune, how a tune kind of brush would look. Actually, I'm talking about the cell vinyl. They don't call it tune brush. Or should I go back to my favorite hull brush? Let's see here. Hull brush actually might be a little bit better for actual texture, as you can see here. That way, I have a little bit more control over let's do this. This is fine. This is fine. And I've only really touched 3 colors so far, just in terms outside of the skeletal structure. It's only been 3 colors, and I want to do that purposely so I don't get too down in the weeds until I get further down the line. We can decide if we really need all those colors, more colors. And I cannot forget the teeth, so don't let me forget the teeth. Yeah, this is great. I really do love the hull brushes. If it's not obvious. Something very satisfying about even the sound is satisfying, it's very subtle. And it forces you to work in very small increments if you're doing detail like this, which is great. Anything that forces you to be more methodical. When I used to do natural science illustration, one of the mediums I really loved was something called scratchboard. And it basically is like, almost like printmaking in terms of its style. But you're essentially scratching away at ink with very fine tools, and it's hard to describe the feeling of doing that for long periods of time. But it's it's another way to put it. It's just very, very satisfying. So I should tell you, if you're watching this now, watching this later, I do plan to do these kind of like Geppetto style, in the workshop, Figmin paintings, gravity sketch, whatever it is. Maybe even Vermilion, because I tried Vermilion the other day, which is a painting app, multiplayer painting app, and it is so good. I'm not even much of a painter in real life, but it's very encouraging to see that there are apps like this that are just so well developed in terms of the overall usability in the UI, And honestly, it's hard to describe. I would just have to show you. And much like this, much like what you're seeing me do right now, it's really great that and I've always felt this way about XR, that I can always create so quickly and efficiently. Of course, I just told you like it's great to slow down. True, but it's also great to not have friction when you're making something. That you don't feel like you have to go through, a bunch of steps before you have the thing that has been sticking in your craw, creatively speaking. Okay, there we go. What do we want for the eyes? What do we want for the eyes? Because we're getting there. We are getting there. But, oh, you know what? Spikes. Spikes, spikes, and more spikes. We want spikes to be the muscles, I feel like. So let's try that. Yeah. Big old spikes. Just coming off the body like nobody's business. Yeah, we got spikes. We came to the spike factory. And all we got are spikes. Okay. Let's go there, and let's go there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, so we make sure that I have the right tool for the job, that's what we'll do there. Oh, so something I want to do is build also these like tentacles off of. This was another thing that I saw in what's it called? Avatar. That I love that. I haven't watched the film yet. I've watched the first one, so it's very similar. Some of the creatures are very similar, but the horses in it, they have like these things that come off their bodies. I guess that's where they connect. And at the very ends of them are the little. I'm just gonna make it because what am I doing trying to describe something that you can see in front of you? Okay, there we go. Ooh, how would that work as eyes? Let's see. Pretty good. Pretty good. And you know what we're going to do, because I feel good enough about this structure now, is that we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that. As much as I like it, I think we have enough of a structure to play with there. Oh, I never finished off the... Oh, let me make sure this thing is off. Okay, move this. So we can already start posing things. Yeah, there we go. Early with time. Keep on saying that. Oh, we're good. Okay. Again, as you can see, 3 colors, pretty much. Well, 4 if you count the... Oh, let me finish off the teeth. I promised to do that. Let's also do some streamers here. Love me some streamers. live stream coming through this baby. Now, by the way, I don't have a name for this kaiju yet, so maybe we can all come up with that together. So, to review, all I've used are, 3 or 4 brushes here. Cell vinyl, muscle, what is that, spikes? And the disco brush. Those are sort of the main tools of the trade. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this above the surface because it keeps on snapping in ways I don't want it to. Very sensitive. I'm sure there's a setting that I'm not aware of at the moment that I need to get privy to, and I will. Oh, I will. Oh, another thing. So, okay, so there will be. I'm not even very good at completing my thoughts. There is. Oh my God, you're all the way back there. How am I going to move you up? Okay. Let's go back to that scene. But there will also be days where I will want to take the quest outside, sunlight permitting. And I already made a video about that with the burb that I was happy to paint the other day because I want to continue that scene. So it'll be a variety of things. I'll take the quest out to play. I will also be doing it inside my, whatever you want to call this workspace. And then, I don't know. From there, I really want to be able to take these scenes out into real life. And so I'm going to see what I can get away with when it comes down to it. What is it that I wanted to do next? What is it I wanted to do next? Do I want to... Oh, my goodness, teeth. The one thing I said I would do, teeth. Let's make that slightly more yellow. Right there, yeah. Oh. Look at those cuspids, those bicuspids. That's a good amount of teeth, yeah. I think I'm doing my duty. And how about one big old coming out there, yeah? Wait, let's do that again. I feel like I could have done that better. Yeah. There we go. So something else I'm curious about. So how about if I rebrush certain things? For example, how would that feel? Is that better with the haunches all? It might be, maybe the body is fully muscle, so it feels a bit more robust. I think maybe I'll keep the spikes just for the feet, and most of everything else. Before I say that, parts of this can be, yeah, that feels good. Oh wow, look at the rump shaker. There we go. Yeah, good. Oh, I love this muscle brush so much. How does it feel on the head? No, we're keeping that where it was. Let's do that. Let's do that. I want to see what. It's like, you know, Godzilla has like, everything starts electrifying across the body. I love that. So let's do some of that. Now, it would be very easy for me to get super crazy, but I think I do need to pay a little homage where that's concerned. So we're going to do all along the spine. And also make sure there is some smoke there. Where there's smoke, there is fire. Oh, actually, should I do fire? Let's see. And some of these are auto-reactive, so I'm going to do that too. Great. Smoke. Where do we want dots? Dots would be great, actually. Little constellations along the body. Okay. Let's try this. We'll do that along the main two, just so there's some continuity. So in a way, you would even be able to see this kaiju at night, like the very, I feel like it's a little warning, you know? It'd be so fun to rig this, but I really don't know how that could translate with tilt brush shaders. I've seen it done before, but I don't know about these newer experimental brushes, honestly. We are just connecting the dots as best we can. Okay, a few more. But yeah, I think we're ending up in a pretty good spot, and I hope you're watching this satisfies your need for a kaiju, your very own kaiju toy. What I'm going to do next with this is when I'm done, I'm going to make sure to publish it. And I think I know how to make that public for people. So if you already have Figmin, you should be able to very easily bring this beast into your own living space, whatever that may be. Into your meat space. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Ooh, now we gotta go back to grab a scene there. Pull that out. Then, are we ready to play with the head? I think so. Ooh, look how scary that is. So I have to be careful that I don't get everything. But if I do, which I just did, you saw me get a piece of the pie there. That little piece I can use to deselect mode. Click this. And return to sender. Ooh, wait. I hope I can. Hold up. Oh, wait. There we go. Then grab the scene. Just so there's a little bit of like a little tilt there. Do the same with the tail. And there we have it, folks. We have ourselves a kaiju. I have no idea what their name is, but I'm pretty pleased with where we ended up. And remember, I'm going to make this giant. It's some landmark. We'll figure that out. I also don't want someone to basically grab a Quest Pro off the top of my head, unbeknownst to me, especially in San Francisco, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll try to find a spot. Look how pretty that is. Let's see if we want any finishing touches. Oh, I did say some smoke, but for some reason, that's fairy. That's not what I wanted. Although, no, I really do like fairy. What am I talking about? I've always liked this brush. Let's do a little bit across the front, a little bit of fanfare there. Making sure you look your Sunday best. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Great. Where are you, smoke? I don't know why I'm having issues finding smoke today. Aha. There's wind. There's big smoke. Okay. Just for a little bit of a little atmosphere. Yeah. Oh, because it's, yeah, I should have waited till the end to do this because now it's not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the mirror off, so I have free reign to place smoke where I need it to. Yeah, that's good. Where else do I want it? How will it look with purple? Looks great, purple. Again, I want to be able to sort of connect all the dots here, right? So let's make sure that there's some continuity between all these parts. Cool. Very cool. Can even mix up the colors a little bit so there's some little bit of a gradient quality to the innards. Little touches like that go a long way, I feel. It feels like there's a bit of fire burning within. I always like playing with the seams between strokes because it just gives you a little bit more depth. So I encourage anyone to just start playing with things in between the seams. Okay, I promise I'm pretty much done, except we need to give you one more thing, which is fire breath, but like kaiju style. right? So that means we need one of the rulers, and I gotta pick a really cool. We're just gonna go with straight up fire here, or we're gonna go with something else, like no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It might be fire. We can also do big smoke to make sure that it feels. Yeah. Ooh, what happened there? How come that wasn't coming through? Oh. Oh, you know what though? That's great for. What's the difference between that audio reactor? Oh, okay. I see you. Oh, maybe one too many. Yeah, one too many. Let's just start with that. Like a cross. Almost Evangelion like. Here we go. You have your toy kaiju. I am officially. Well, never say never, but I feel like this is in a good spot, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to save. Again, I'm going to publish this at some point. I'll probably put that in a link on my Twitter. And I am signing off. I will come back another day this week, more than likely, knowing me. Probably with a plushie or a robot of some kind. So stay tuned for that. Or I might even go outside. You never know. I might just surprise you. All right, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day.